Such metals, for example, as iron, copper, gold, silver, manganese, nickel, and tungsten, the elements which form such compounds as granite, quartz, and flint, and those elements which form such precious stones as the diamond, ruby, and emerald. All these elements are made up of light units in maximum motion in opposition. They are very densely packed together in atomic construction, and very closely integrated. Their electric and magnetic orbits are in spirals of one plane and are very much extended. Their melting points are very high. A study of the charts will show this clearly. The less the opposition of the two opposing forces, the less the rigidity of form and mass, and the more indistinct is its appearance of existence. All of those elements which, born near the inertia planes of their octaves, indicate by their tonal position on their octave waves a close relation to motion in inertia and a lessening degree of opposition, are the softer, less distinct substances, such elements and compounds as lithium, bromine, sodium, chloride, salt, sulfur, potassium, iodine, tellurium, magnesium, strontium, and rubidium are formed of light units of less potential energy. The atomic structure of these elements is not closely integrated, but is open, nebulous, and very much expanded. Their electric and magnetic orbits are in spirals of many planes, approaching nebulicity in appearance as their position nears their inertia planes. Their melting points are very low. A study of these charts will show this clearly. Form, therefore, is not an attribute of the one substance and has no existence other than as an appearance. Form, like time, space, mass, color, weight, temperature, and other effects of motion, is an attribute of motion only, and in no way an attribute of substance. Bubbles whirling in the substance of water have form. Their form is but an attribute of their whirling motion, and is not of the substance of water. When the motion ceases, form disappears, but the substance remains. Creation is merely a swing of the cosmic pendulum from inertia through energy and back again to inertia forever and forever. It is but a series of opposing pulsations of action and reaction, integration and disintegration, gravitation and radiation, appearance and disappearance. The one universal mind is a formless, thinking substance. If the one substance were not a thinking substance, that which man calls creation would not have been. That which man calls God is an ecstatic thinking substance, thinking in continuity, thinking rhythmically, thinking with orderly variation of intensity in measurable impulses throughout endless ages, in endless space. Thinking is an action, which is the cause of all motion. It is a process, a purely mechanical process, periodic in its evolution, through one cycle after another, without end. The process of thinking leaves the evidence of that process behind it, registering the effect of its passage through the ocean of the universal mind. In its wake are myriads of rotating particles of the one substance, which register the thinking of mind, just as in the wake of an ocean steamer are myriads of tiny rotating bubbles, which register the passage of that steamer. The many bubbles in the wake of the steamer produce an effect of foam in the ocean substance, which appears to be different from the surrounding substance. It is the same substance, but of less stability. The whirling bubbles of foam owe their appearance of stability to motion. When the motion ceases, the bubbles will disappear. The wake of the steamer is an appearance which we know will disappear. It has no stability. It has only an appearance of stability. The bubbles are apparently separate individuals possessing form and motion, which are apparently their own, but which we know are not their own. Their appearance of separateness we know is but an illusion due to force and motion. When the churning effect of the propeller has been dissipated, foam, bubbles, wake, and all will disappear into the mighty ocean of which they are a part, and from which they have never been separated. The passage of all thought through the tranquil ocean of universal mind may well be likened unto the passage of big boats and little boats and all the winds of heaven upon the tranquil ocean of waters. The passage of all these forces leave their effects in appearance upon the ocean of waters, registering their own, in foam, the ideal of those forces. Without the exertion of these forces upon the tranquil waters, an absolute uniformity of appearance would prevail throughout the ocean of waters. Without the force of thinking throughout the tranquil substance of mind, there would be no appearance of variability whatsoever in the universe of mind. There would be no form. The distinct spiral nebula of Perseus or the trail of the Milky Way looming against the ocean of mind, is exactly analogous to the foamy wake of a steamer as viewed from a great height. Both the wake of the steamer and the nebula of Perseus are appearances due to the passage of ponderous ideas, and both will disappear back into the substance of which they are a part. The myriad whirling spheres of the nebula, its integrating suns and solar systems, its planets and moons, its asteroids and meteorites, are all whirling forms, born of the churning propeller of the one mind, thinking out this universe of ours. Similarly, the whirling spheres of the steamer's wake, with its big bubbles, its lesser bubbles, and its milky foam, are a line of white against the deep blue sea, but not separate from the sea in substance. The temperature in the wake of the steamer is higher than that of the surrounding water. Similarly, the temperature of the spiral nebula is higher than that of the surrounding ether matter, because of the heat energy generated by thinking and transferred to the whirling spheres. The law governing both bubbles and nebula is the same. The difference between them is only relative in point of time. Both disappear when they cease to whirl, for their appearance of existence is due solely to the heat energy of motion. A bubble may whirl for a few moments, and a sun for 100 billion years before their generated heat becomes radiated into their father-mother substance, which gave them birth. The difference in time is but relative, for time is nothing in eternity. When the bubbles have radiated their heat to the temperature and the surrounding water, they cease all appearance of individual existence. Their forms have disappeared with cessation of motion, but their substance is as existent as the ocean is existent. When giant suns have radiated their heat to the absolute zero of the surrounding ether substance of mind, they cease all appearance of individual existence. Their forms have disappeared with the cessation of motion, but their substance is as eternal as mind is eternal. And now I have put a new chart of Russell's on the screen, and I will read what is under it. This is a diagram showing the 10 octaves of integrating light, one octave within the other. These 10 octaves constitute one complete cycle of the transfer of the universal constant of energy into and through all of its dimensions in sequence. And if you could read the little print, you would see the names of elements, which I am not able to pronounce, unfortunately. I know I've pronounced some things, and you probably have heard it and thought, wow, she doesn't know how to pronounce that word. Anyway, I would encourage you to get this book, and you can see all these things. If you have a scientific mind, this would be very interesting to you to read this page, all the little print that I can't read.